And when I think again about my past and my background and things that have happened and how I was raised, God prepared me for this from day one. So that's where I get my strength from. My strength is to do what I'm here to do. Because honestly, we all have a job here. Definitely. The whole point is just finding out what that job is and getting it done before you're going. So that's where my strength comes from. And then, I have a daughter that is 7, she'll be 8. And she's by my side mostly 99% of the time. This is the weekend she's with her dad. But I know she's watching me because she has been with me on some of my outings with my girls. Okay. She has seen me talk to people about my program. And when I'm looking out the side of my eye, I can see her intently staring at me. So I know that when I'm done, she's going to continue that legacy, and I know that I'm building something for her. As well as my sons. I have my 18-year-old and I have, he'll be 23 and he's in college. And I know they also look at me and admire what I'm doing. So when they have their little girlfriends, they be like, Mom, can you please talk to her? And I'm like, all right, so it's a natural thing. And like I said, my strength comes from God. It's just getting the job done. That's all. I just do what I gotta do.
Awesome. I tell you, woman of God within. I tell you, right here.
Like I said, she represents everything. I gotta give her the badge of salute. She's an official hood genius. Real talk. You know what I mean? I'm going to the my next question. With so many obstacles with our youth, that they have to face growing up in the urban setting with broken homes, no stable mental foundation, violence, and poverty. What will be your approach to the young ladies dealing with these obstacles?
I think I kind of touched on it earlier. Basically, just not being a product of your environment. I think, again, and that's another reason why my program, I think, is so important, because I can talk to them from a real point of view. I'm not just somebody with degrees or somebody trying to analyze them and say A, B, C, and D. I can tell you that I probably 9 times out of 10 done been through what you done been through, and probably more. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't a product of my environment because my vision for myself was bigger than where I was from. And let's be real. I'm gonna be real. I have exceeded most of my family members because my vision is bigger. Some people get just stuck where they are, and I feel bad for them. But my vision has just been bigger, and so I just don't stop. And so they just need to have a bigger vision. They need to have more role models out here. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be real since we being real. A lot of the moms, let's be real, I'm on Facebook and on Instagram, and you on here posting half naked pictures and all of this, and your daughters are watching. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so it's like, what type of example are you making? It's bad enough they don't have positive examples anyway. They have the Nicki Minaj's and all of that. So it's just, they need people to give them alternatives and just let them know you don't have to be a product of your environment. All it takes is strength, and I keep saying it, and I'm going to keep saying it, is having a vision. You have to have a vision. If you don't have a vision, you're going to remain where you are. Yeah. And that's it.
That's key.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like to always believe that the greatest teachers are the ones that experienced it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's the problem that I'm having with the teachers for my daughter. Mm-hmm. These jokers most likely was C-average students in college and just chose to say, oh, it's easy to be a teacher. So they say, okay, I feel like I'm going to give back. I'm going to go to the hood and teach a bunch of black kids. But you wasn't even a good student. You know what I'm saying? And where I'm going with that is they don't have the experience. They don't have no kids. They in front of a class with 25 to 30 kids sometimes. They don't know how to control our kids. They don't even understand us. If you don't even understand a black adult, how you gonna understand the kids? You know what I'm saying? And then you went to school for psychology. all the stuff that's happening in kids' mind at certain ages. You know what I mean? It's a lot of things that goes on in between certain ages. And if you don't have a full grip of knowledge of knowing that and then your own experiences, you know what I mean? Like you, Lady T, remember when you told me you was in a class, it was a day to observe. And
I was sitting in class for 2 hours.
She took over the class.
I actually took over the class. The teacher was asking me, did I have my background clearance, so maybe I could be assistant teacher.
Right.
I just shook my head at her. Like, why are you even here? Yeah. And I wasn't even raising my voice. I was just looking and just peacefully talking.
Right.
Because they saw themselves. They saw a reflection of themselves. And I was just able to just control it with my eyes. With and they felt the energy.
Right.
With her, it's like, it's push off. I'm here, but don't touch me. That's what I got from her.
Right.
But when it was with me, they was able to come up to me, put their hand on my hand.
Right.
I was able to put my arm around them, give them a hug, and say, look, can you just be good today.
Right.
Just be good today. When I come pick up my son, I want a good report on you. And I said, are you going to do that for me? And I mean, with big joy in their eyes, they're like, yes, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And she's looking at me. Yeah, that's all it took.
Right.
Was genuine. Being genuine with them and respect.
Right. Exactly.
Because you got to remember, they're little humans. They're little people. They're little grown people and little,
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
I
think sometimes what it comes down to is that with the teachers as well, that these kids come from homes sometimes where they don't get that encouragement, where they don't get those hugs. Right. And so then they come to the classroom and you're not giving them none of that. That's going to make it worse.
Right.
Sometimes these kids only act out because, number one, I always be like, when kids act out, there's a deeper issue. They ain't acting out just to act out.
Exactly.
Something's going on inside. Something's going on at home. And until we find teachers or they took all the counselors and stuff out of the schools, unfortunately.
They knew they was doing.
But until we find teachers that can really understand that and know how to deal with it accordingly instead of chastising, kicking them out of class, labeling them you're bad or you're angry. You know what I mean? Right. I think we got to start. I really think that the whole school system needs to be redone over.
Definitely.
Because these kids nowadays, they can't sit still. You're talking for hours.
I can't sit for hours.
Yeah, that's not how they learn anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just a lot. But it takes parents, though.
It does.
It takes parents to step up. And again, unfortunately, parents are too busy not being parents.
Yeah.
They're stuck on social media. Worrying about competing with their children.
And that's the problem.
Competing with their children as well.
Their daughters, absolutely.
And also, I just want to say that, since we on this subject, because I was already heated about it. I actually witnessed my son's teacher. Like, he went up to give her a hug and say, see you tomorrow, have a good day. And she went like this to him.
Really?
I said, don't you ever touch her, hug her ever again.
Right.
I don't want that spirit rubbing off of you. I don't want that energy rubbing off of you. Bringing it home.
Right.
Wow. So,
she's white.
She's a Caucasian.
Yeah.
She's a Caucasian.
How old is your son?
My son is 5 years old. He's very affectionate.
And at that age, that's how they are.
Very affectionate. And she went like this to him. And I witnessed her doing that to other children as well.
Wow.
So,
And that damages them. And they don't even understand that.
Right.
At 5 years old.
Right, because what's wrong with me? So now you're questioning yourself. Because now, at 5 and going on up, they're actually learning themselves. Personality. And some of them are strong. And something like that can really damage them at that age. I remember things when I was 4 and 5 years old.
Right. Wow. So, that's crazy.
And to me, that was racist.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And then when you ask her questions, what are you saying? So when I actually went in, that was another day, and I actually told him, I said, that's very ignorant. You never say what to a person. You say yes or maybe even hi.
Right.
But not what. Like what is like you're bothering me.
But the good thing is your mom showing him.
Right.
A lot of parents don't do that.
Right.
They don't, and that's the sad part.
And that's what you're here for.
Yes. I'm
gonna
try.
Great women like you. Women of Valor, 74.
Valor,
like
Valor.
Oh, listen.
My.
I told told you.
No, my son said Valor too. I said Valor, Bill.
I'm sorry, Valor.
Yes, Valor. Valor is very important.
Valor.
Valor means strength. Valor means, if you ever look up the word valor, it means strength in the face of adversity.
Wow.
And so, that word was very, very important. Actually, let me break it down. I got to break it down.
Okay.
Valor stands for, I broke it down, victorious, action, loyal, optimistic revolutionaries.
Oh, wow.
So that's how
that's
broke
awesome.
that down.
I won't forget it.
And that's how, that stands for myself and any young woman that is in my program. That's my goal, to make sure that she knows that.
Awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm loving this.
Yeah, this is good, yo. Lady T over here, she in her bag or whatever. But this is good. This is what we welcome. We always reaching out to different people. Some reply, some don't. It is what it is. But I'm going to my next question. Some of the most successful people in life had or still have a mentor. Explain the importance of having a mentor in life.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. I didn't have a mentor for myself. And so again, I think that's why this passion has been in me for a long time. My mentor, and I kid you not, was God. And I'm gonna keep saying that as well, because again, coming from my background, coming through things that I've been through, only by the grace of God having his hand on me is, having me where I am now. So having a mentor is very important, because again, you have the girls that are in the middle. They can either go to the left or go to the right. It all depends on who comes into their life and guides them the right way. So what I'm trying to do is catch those girls that are in the middle and make sure they stay on the right path. Not go to the left, but stay going right. You know what I mean? And then you have those girls that have completely gone to the edge. It takes a lot more work with those girls. But again, the girls that are in the middle, having a mentor will just direct them in the right direction, and so they stay on that right path. So I think it's very, very, very important. Very important.
I just so with you saying that the hardest ones are the ones that definitely to the far left. Mm-hmm. So is it just them gaining your trust and knowing that you're just not going to, I guess, forsake them and just disappoint them as they've always been disappointed in their life?
That's a good question. I think part of it is probably gaining the trust. I think a lot of it too is just example. And being real. I think, and I'm gonna be real with you on this, I think a lot of times patterns are repeated because the parents and the grandparents don't want to tell their stories. You have to tell your story. Because if you don't tell your story, you can sit there and talk to your child all day, but if they don't know the realness of it, they're not going to listen. So if you tell your story and then you sit down and you talk to them, 9 times out of 10, they'll listen more so. So my thing is, I don't have a problem with telling my story. I have a story for a reason. It used to be, I don't want to tell my story, but now I'm going to tell you my story, because I know 9 times out of 10, you done been through something. And when I share my story, you're going to see that I'm being sincere. You're going to see that I'm being real. And I'm coming from you with the passion and not just, I just want to get in your head, or I got this degree. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I think you just got to be real and tell your story.
And with you saying that, just keeping it real with them, I have a 14-year-old daughter. And from day one, I kept it real with her, with my situation and what happened to me when I was younger, like you said. Instead of holding it in, I figured that I share that with her so she can understand why it was like a boot camp.
Right.
It was, Mom, you were crazy. Mom, you just overprotective. Mom. And I had to let her know why.
Right.
I was saying it to her when she was younger, but she wouldn't understand. But constantly saying over like a broken record, they'd get in her head. So when she got older and I was telling her, she was understanding that I was just repeating myself.
Exactly.
I don't want the same thing to happen to you. Now, my mother, she was awesome. It was some things that she couldn't, protect me from.
Of course.
And I never blamed her. And I just, she's no longer here with me, but before she left this earth, I let her know that you did all that you can do.
Absolutely.
It's some evil and sick people out here. Everyone is born with God in them. It's your choice whether you want to live heaven or hell. What path you want to go down.
Right.
And like you said, without the correct parents at home, of course you're going to go left.
Right.
But it's people like you and, you know, I'll say myself as well, because I love what you're doing, and I would like to campaign and get on board with you as well. Absolutely. That if we